So, the Otero family murders that happened in 1974. 1 year before his son was born was when he did these. He was 28 years old at the time of the attack. He said that he had noticed Julie and her daughter. Her name was Josephine. They called her Josie, though. And he had seen them at a store. And he followed them for a few weeks. He knew when the husband would leave. He knew everything. He would stalk all of his victims for weeks before he would attack. And he was nervous when he saw a dog print in the backyard. He was like, well, I didn't account for this. And
pretty shitty stalker.
And he also didn't know that Joe had wrecked their second car. Remember I said his ribs were broken?
Yes.
He'd wrecked their second car a couple of weeks before this, breaking some ribs and leaving him unable to work. He had packed his pockets that day with rope, Venetian blind cord, gags, white tape, a knife, and plastic bags. He had noticed Julie and Josie at a grocery store, like I said. He knew that Joe left for work around 8 a.m. and that Julie would take Joey and Josie to school for 8:45. So he planned his attack for 8:20 because he wanted Josie to be there.
Right. But the old man.
And he was like, I knew the boy would be there, but he was just going to be a casualty at this point. He parked blocks away from the house and he walked in the dark as he stood and contemplated, when he should make his move, because this was going to be his first human attack. And he just fucking dove right into child murder.
Yeah.
Wild to me.
I wonder if he planned on how much forethought he had, or foresight. Was he able to know that, all right, I'm going to kill kids on my first killing because I don't want to kill kids, but it's going to throw the scent off so hard that I'm going to be able to fuck up with the profilers? Or do you think that was an afterthought?
Well, I don't think profiles were a thing just yet. I think profiles were the very, very end of the 70s.
Right. This is mid?
This is 74, yeah.
Right.
But, and I don't want to, because he planned to kill Joey. With Josie, I don't know if he realized that she was 11, only because she was already taller than her mom.
Mm-hmm.
She was kind of big for her age. And so he would carry around, later they would find a bunch of teenage girl magazine clippings that he had kept on him. So not that it makes it any better. It's all fucking sick. But I don't know if he knew she was 11. Maybe he thought she was 15.
Right.
I don't know. It doesn't make it any better. He's a fucking twisted piece of shit. He's still alive too.
He is?
Yeah.
Where is he? ADX?
Kansas. We should go kill him.
They don't put him in that Florence. I guess he's not a high risk.
He's not a high risk. He's fucking old as dirt now, but he's only allowed out for an hour a day.
Oh, yeah?
In 2006, they did give him a special privilege and gave him a TV.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
You should not get a TV.
Or he should only have to.
People.
Actually, I was going to say he should only have to watch people talk about what a piece of shit he is, but he would probably.
He'd like that.
He'd have a boner all the time.
Yeah, he'd just pick the words. They were like, oh my God, he's the biggest piece of shit in the world. They'd be like, oh my God, you think I'm in the world? Thank you.
So, yeah, he had planned his attack for 8:20, walked in the dark, and he was standing there thinking about what am I going to do with the dog? All of these thoughts. And then all of a sudden the back door opened and little Joey and the dog were there. So he hustled the kid and the dog into the kitchen with a gun. And he said, this is a stick up. Don't be alarmed. And Joseph Otero at first was he thought it was a joke at first. Remember this guy's, he's a boxer. He's skilled. Charlie would say later on, I can't believe this guy got my dad to let him put his hands behind his back.
Right.
But he also had
broken ribs. He couldn't even close the garage door.
Exactly.
I mean.
And I've had broken ribs and they fucking suck.
Mm-hmm.
He said as Josie started to cry, he told her, it's okay. Don't worry. He tried to comfort her. A lot of the, he does try to make himself look like a boogeyman, but then in the same breath, he'll say things like, oh, when Joe told me that, his ribs were broken, I put, a coat underneath him so that, he was comfortable. And Julie would complain about this, and I try to do this to make her more comfortable. And
fuck him. I think he's just trying to control the situation. It's got nothing to do.
That's all comfort. That's all he does is try to control the situation. So while he did this to the two parents and their young children, he said that he then took their car and barely made it to where he had left his in a parking lot. because there was barely any gas at all in it. I would have just loved it for this guy to fucking break down
man.
somewhere. That would have been amazing. Once he reached his car, he was doing inventory of all the things that he had brought, and he realized that he had left behind a knife that he had brought with him.
Yes.
So he would drive in his own vehicle back to the because he didn't have a choice because the fucking car was ran out of gas.
Right.
He'd drive back to the family home and was able to sneak in the back door and get
Oh my God.
in and out undetected before anyone had come home and found the horror that he had left in the house. Of the murders of Joseph, Julie, Josephine, and Joey, Dennis would say this. He said that he tried to make Mr. Otero as comfortable as I possibly could. Apparently, he had cracked a rib from a car accident. There, I realized I didn't have a mask on it or anything, and they'd already ID'd me, and I made a decision to go ahead and put them down, I guess, or strangle them.
Jesus, it's that casualness that I
A
struggle with.
9-year-old boy,
Mhm.
and you pulled up a chair and watched.
Right. Man.
In quick sequence, he would then murder Catherine Bright, but would be surprised when 19-year-old Kevin was there and was almost able to overtake him. It was after this that he had, made the big scene about the library book, the mechanical engineering.
Right.
And so not until years later, just about the time of his baby being born, so he did this thing with Catherine. He said that her brother being there was like really fucked with his plan. He's like, that was not great. And then he did this whole big elaborate, like, go to the library and I'm going to call and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no one will ever want to borrow this book because it's so boring.
It'll be there forever.
And then his baby was born in 1975. And then, he's right around the time, 1977, that the baby's probably getting a little bit of independence. Like, just his wife's probably not just like, you fucking better be home.
Yeah.
Like, and so then he starts going out again and he starts terrorizing people in his community. Dennis had 2 victims in mind the day that he murdered Shirley Vian. Shirley was this poor sick mother with Stephen as her 5-year-old son who had gone to get soup.
The soup.
So she was homesick with her sick children who, ultimately would be devastatingly traumatized by what a piece of shit this man was and what he did to their mom. But neither of his preferred victims happened to have been home on that day. And he didn't want to make another mistake like what happened with Kathy and Kevin. He didn't want to lie in wait kind of thing and just, be surprised by like they bring home a gang of people. So he made sure that his 2 choices lived so close together, just across an alleyway out back, that he would go and he would check on the first one, see if she was home. And when she wasn't, he would come through the alley and he would try to go through to his second one. As he was doing this, he would see a little boy carrying a can of soup. He pulled out a picture of his own wife and child and asked the boy if he knew those people. The boy said he didn't, and he went on his way. Dennis then tried to go to his second target's home. Remember, Stephen said, I watched him go to a neighbor's house?
Yes.
And then he went inside. So Dennis tried to go to a second target's home, but once again, she was not there where he needed her to be. So side note, the second intended victim was a woman named Cheryl. And she lived what Dennis considered to be a high-risk life. So he used to have like project names for every single one of them. Like Josie Otero, the little 11-year-old, he called her Project Little Mex.
Oh my God.
Right. And so this Cheryl woman was going to be Project, it wasn't like lights. There was another one that was lights out. It was like something to do with getting drunk, like lit something.
Blackout?
But so I think
Blackout?
so. I do believe so. He considered that she lived like a fast and loose lifestyle, and therefore he thought that it would be easy for him to get away with because of like her life choices.
Oh my God.
Like, fuck right off, Dennis. But when she wasn't there, he decided to go check out where the little boy had come from.
So the boy's mom
Shirley?
was not a stalked victim.
No.
It was a crime of opportunity.
This poor woman was just trying not to vomit.
Yeah.
That's all she was like. She's trying to look after her kids. And I can't imagine too being sick with sick kids.
Yeah.
And then you have to take care of these sick kids. Like, What a nightmare. My kids got COVID in like at the beginning of 2020. And
Oh,
my husband
how
got it.
trendy.
Thank
That
you
was
so
when everybody wanted it.
We were trendsetters. My husband got it. They got it for 2 weeks. They were, and I truly believe it was by the grace of God that they were just like, I was fine. And then like, as soon as everybody was like back on their feet for like a week, then I just got the shit kicked out of me. My husband's like, make us dinner. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Eat my vomit.
But yeah, so he would approach Shirley Vian's door. He said when he was in the home and he was drawing the blinds, the phone started to ring, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And after it stopped, Dennis worried about the caller, like if they were calling to see if, Shirley was okay with the kids. She's super sick. And then like when she doesn't answer, maybe they're going to drop by. That's exactly right. He thought to himself that, he was on borrowed time. But he said that if he did have time, he was going to smother the 2 little boys and hang the little girl.
Fuck.
But thank God he didn't. This man is, at that time, he actively has a little boy that age.
Right.
Like,
and did not.
What the fuck are you even doing?
And the only reason he didn't do it was a scheduling conflict.
Literally because he thought somebody's going to walk in on it. That's the only thing. He would say that when he began tying Shirley up, being that she was actually so sick, she did throw up beside the bed. And as the children were yelling and banging on the door, his nerves about being caught or them being heard was growing. Nothing about this was ideal in his eyes. Like, fuck you. I don't...
Yeah, in everybody's eyes, nothing's ideal.
Actually, you know what? This sucks for everyone. So why don't you get the fuck out there, go lie down underneath a car backing out of a mall, and everybody can just carry on. So one of the little boys said that if they were going to break down the door, so as he was doing whatever he was doing, the little boy said, I'm going to break down this door and I'm going to come and get you. Mm-hmm. And he responded to the little boy saying, you're not going to want to do that. So that was in March of 1977. And then in December of the same year was when he struck Nancy Jo Fox. She was the woman who everyone would comment lived in that super neat, very clean. Yeah. It was a duplex, exquisitely clean and tidy.
The cops were like, it's the cleanest house?
Literally the cops, Dennis, everybody that saw her house was like, she's so clean. Do you think somebody would say that about the studio?
I mean, if they see what they see on camera.
So this would be the one that he would call the emergency services the next day and give them the address. Nancy lived alone. She was only 25 at the time of her death and was one of 5 siblings. She was also like one of 18 cousins who were like super duper close. She was working 2 jobs, one at a law firm as a secretary and the other at a jeweler's. He said that he had done this because he was actually, he said that he called the emergency services because he was still so elated by how her murder had transpired. There was no dog, no kid, no man to interrupt. He said that it was, as far as he was concerned, it was his perfect event.
Was that the jeweler that he called?
I don't know. I thought that too. It was the one that he called afterwards was called Herzinger, but this was 2004, right? That he was calling, so I don't know.
Yeah, okay. I just thought it seemed odd.
I know. It's true. You're right.
Yeah.
Quite possibly. Because everything he does has a fucking weird connection. But yeah, he said that he had seen her he was doing something fucking creepy probably. And he had gone, past her house a few times. He'd gone into her work. He had checked her mail so that he knew where she worked, her name and all that. And on the day that he had killed her, he'd gone into her home to like scope out the place and like cut the phone line and whatnot. But she had interrupted him.
Oh.
She came in and she just said to him, what the hell are you doing in my house? And he turned around and he ended up like, he told her like he was a sex criminal and he was just there for sex and like he wasn't gonna hurt her or anything. He was just there for sex. And they said that she was wearing like a white parka coat. She like removed it and like folded it and put it on the back of her couch. And I was like, she is neat and tidy.
Yeah.
But as he was talking to her, she was like, I'm gonna need a cigarette. And so he's like, she didn't seem scared. She seemed annoyed that I was there.
And stressed.
And so she needed a cigarette, and then she said, I need to go to the bathroom. So he went in and he checked, like, there's nowhere she could get out. There's nothing in there that she could, like, hurt him with. And he let her go to the bathroom, and he said, okay, when you come out, I want you to be less clothed than you are. And when she came out, she was still wearing her pink sweater, her bra, and she had her underwear on, but she had taken off her pants. And she said, well, let's get this over with then.
Fuck.
Right?
Oh my God.
And
so disturbing.
He said that at that point in time, he had taken off some of his clothes under the ruse that he was just going to sexually assault her, which was not his MO at all. And he laid her down on her stomach on her bed, and then he got on top of her. He took off his belt and he tied it around her feet to bind her feet. And then once he kind of had her down, he removed it from her feet and put it around her neck. He said, and this is something that he was known to do, was also there was evidence to show that he did this with the Otero mother as well, that he would strangle them until they passed out, allow them to regain consciousness, and then do it again and again.
Oh, jeez.
He said that he, when he allowed her to come back, he would then lean in and whisper in her ear, I killed the Otero family, and Shirley Vian, I'm BTK and you're next. Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the toy box killer?
Yeah.
That James Earl. This has got a little bit of that vibe to it. The psychological torture is neck and neck with the physical.
I really just think that these fucking guys in the 70s and 80s were just eating lead paint off of everything, and their brains are just so fucking damaged. But he said, this was it. This is finally after he wasn't rushed. There was no
perfect
external,
threats,
interference,
dangers.
Exactly.
No paw prints.
So that was kind of, it's really truly the stuff the nightmare's made of. And
it's worse than like TV.
It is worse than TV. Yeah. He was so proud of this murder, almost giddy, that he made the phone. He wanted to tell somebody about it. And that was why he called Sedgwick, because he never called in any of his other crimes.
Right.
Like until well after the fact. But he called them and told them that there had been a homicide. He said that he made the call, and like he fully took so many risks because he was driving his ADT work van.
Oh, Jesus.
When he drove up to this payphone. Like, he's like, I could have easily been identified, but my need to tell somebody about it, outshone my, need not to get
be
caught.
Secure. Wow.
So he's like, I knew what a big mistake I could have been making, but like, he's fully a terrifying monster, and but he's also like just this needy sack of shit. That's just, it makes it so embarrassing. And okay, so this one guy, so Dolores Davis's son, Jeff, who's poetic, okay? He would say of him later on, like in the documentary that I watched, and I had to write it down because I was like, what a brilliant quote. He said, my mother died at the hands of one of the most disgusting social malignancies that's ever been introduced into this world. You always imagine the face of the devil, and here's this Elmer Fudd-looking little oaf with a stupid haircut and a dumb look on his face. And I thought, oh, you're real intimidating. You could probably scare a woman in the middle of the night, but you're just a little cockroach.
Nice.
Damn.
Yeah.
Break-in video.